my loves, this is Raveena with a new video today. For those of you who are new, I'm a certified professional organizer and I love sharing my ideas and tips here on my channel. Yesterday I asked everyone to guess what video this was going to be. And at the time of filming, it was Aishwarya Sudarshan who guessed it right. Great job, Aishwarya. So today I'm going to share with you my process on how I organize just about any space from start to finish. And since so many of you have requested, I will also share how I make my labels. I'll be sharing that with you later on in this video as well. For me, it's all about systematically dividing any area I'm working on into smaller sections or zones. I do this with pretty much everything, and I have even divided my home into 6 separate zones for easy management and organization. If you want to know more about that, you can watch my video on home management. On top of that, I also divide each area or room into its own smaller zones. To do this, I follow some basic rules. First, I assess all the different items that belong to that space and group them into categories. These categories could be based on any similar characteristics as long as they work for you. For example, in my entertainment kitchen, I have grouped all my glassware together in this cabinet, which works great for me as I usually get this out when I'm having guests over for a big dinner party. And in this drawer, I keep all my small white dishes so that they're nicely displayed as well as all kept safely. Then in the pantry, I have everything broken down into food types such as canned food, lentils, and different types of flours and grains. The second thing is to distribute these groups vertically and horizontally so they function well for you according to your needs. For example, extremely heavy things should be stored lower down, while items that are not needed regularly can be stored high above arm's reach. For example, my Christmas decor, which I will not be reaching for until November, are kept right on top of this cabinet in my home office. All the things that I use regularly, those should be at eye level or easy to get to by arm's reach, so I can reach for them easily and also put them back right away. For example, in the pantry, I prefer having all my glass jars at a safe height. It's also about visual effect and practicality at this point. The third thing I do is to then organize items into containers. This could be bottles, jars, bins, boxes, or baskets, or even a combination of any of these. In my refrigerators, for example, I use these clear acrylic bins to organize different food categories. In my entryway cabinet, I use these baskets to hold things we are going to recycle or donate, and I think it's really helpful for storing things that you don't want to display. And in the pantry, I use these IKEA boxes and baskets to store like items because they keep everything looking neat and tidy while still allowing me to access items easily. And then to make things even easier, I subdivide things of the same category into smaller baskets instead of one big one. Like for our noodles, for example. Instead of having to rummage through a big box, I have subdivided them. I have my rice noodles in one container and the flour noodles in the other. And the final step of organizing any space is, of course, to label everything. I think this is crucial when you have a lot of different or similar looking containers because it becomes easy to distinguish them and also create a home for those items. It is also very useful if you have friends over and they are helping out in the kitchen because they can get to things easily without having to ask where to find something. So there are basically 3 types of labels that I use. I do make smaller labels with my label maker, and the 2 bigger ones are done on my printer. I really like making my own labels so I can customize them. And it's such a simple and affordable method, I think you guys are really going to appreciate it. So let me share my simple method with you. For the bottles, I just type the name of the sundry and then put the phonetic pronunciation, which is just something fun and it adds a bit of interest. But you can omit that and you can use any other language besides English that you might want to write the name maybe in your native language and then in English or vice versa. Then I do add a description of the item. Another thing that I like to do, especially for my children or husband, is that I write down the basic cooking instructions on the other side of the label. So you can add the expiry date here as well if you like. Now I just print out the label and then cut it to size, and I laminate the label for endurance. After that, I just use a single hole punch to make a hole and thread it with some twine. The very last step is to just tie it at the neck of the bottle. These are very durable, and what I love about them is that I can just remove the twine anytime I need to wash the jars or change the contents and replace the label. The other type of label I make are these stick-on labels. Once again, you print the label using your printer. You can pick any size and any font of your preference, which is why I find it so easy to customize. Then print it out and use clear packing tape to cover the entire label. Use a plastic or wooden spoon or spatula and gently rub the tape to help the ink adhere to the tape. This is just a plastic pots and pans scraper, but I have dedicated this particular one for this purpose. Then cut them out and soak the label in a bowl of warm water for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't worry about the stickiness of the tape getting washed away because they will stick really well. Now gently using your fingers, scrub away the paper, leaving the ink on the tape. Do this step as thoroughly as possible so you have a clean surface. Then place it exactly where you want it, and you can move it around until you're happy with the positioning and then allow to dry. It's really that easy. It looks fantastic, and besides that, you will have no problem peeling off the label, washing the container or basket, and then replacing the label whenever you need to. These labels can also be used to create decorative decals on cabinets, such as in my laundry area. I have this little cabinet, and on the door, I have added this decal. It's just a decorative touch to make me smile as I go about doing my laundry. The options are limitless. So my loves, I hope you have enjoyed this video and take back with you some tips on how I organize my spaces. And if you have, do give this video a thumbs up. I would also love for you to subscribe to my channel and be a part of my internet family. I will be back with more ideas and tips on organizing your home one space, one meal at a time. Until the next video, this is Raveena saying happy homemaking.